So bringing us back from the break is first-year MFA poet Leisa Lone. Gathering all her necessary ingredients was quite the feat, but enjoyable nonetheless. To start, 4 shots of the bartender's best liquors. You should ask Leisa for her picks, because she was a bartender back in Boston. Next is a half cup of Barbra Streisand's greatest hits. For best flavor, pick only her show tunes. You round out the mix with a teaspoon of ground onyx for a goth aesthetic. Finally, though it may cost you more than you're willing to sacrifice, add in a few strands of hair from best singer in the world / critically acclaimed actor / ever-evolving performer Harry Styles. Place under the broiler for 5 minutes, careful not to burn. Please welcome Leisa Lone.
It's great, she gets me, I love it. All right, sorry if my face is like super red, I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna do this. Great, I had this like weird Aries impulsive moment and I was like, yes, first reading, please, sign me up. So here we are, worked out. All right, so I'm gonna start, this first one is called Doppelganger. A woman at the end of the bar plays her favorite song on the jukebox and begs for some sort of reaction. Her man burps and slides from his bar stool. Later, in her apartment nearby, her heavy sigh will be mistaken for an orgasm. And tomorrow, I will wake up in Queens again, wearing a t-shirt supporting someone else's baseball team. These are the mornings even a picture of the official state fish could comfort me. Anyone else who's ever been mocked by an Atlantic cod, I owe a drink. The last Christmas I came home, you told me your dad hits you, and I told you mine makes me pray. You asked for a Johnny Cash box set I couldn't afford, so instead I just prayed your dad wouldn't hit you and hummed Kentucky Straight through the phone. That unexpected leap of the heart you just felt, that was just my foot tapping the brakes, or maybe my arrhythmia syncopating in the silence. That was supposed to be the good news. My heart comes pre-broken. Tonight the band sucked and the singer looked like 94 Winona Ryder, and it reminded me we all have a twin, and I'll have to find yours, ruin him too. He knows too much about me, just having those eyes. All right. This next one is called Honey and Shortbread. I wish I had a face, but for you, I have neglected myself, ignored all invitations sent to keep me out on a Friday night, out of the tub where I prune, pretend to speak French, and burn my fingers trying to light a puddle of wax too lazy to be a candle. It is sick to death of being coaxed by warmth to relax, spread out, explore the space, only to be forced back to its old ways, cozied up cold against glass with a tight lid overhead. I speak as if at some point, by blankets coming unwoven, I have been neglected, and I cannot shake off this chill. The bathwater sneaks down the drain slow over many hours until Saturday arrives, and I awake cold in an empty bathtub, seemingly all for you. But I have ignored yet again no one but myself. Screaming underwater only creates bubbles and surrenders that precious saved up air sooner. When the weekend is over, I go and burn off the tip of my tongue, trying to lick the light from fireflies who promised that kissing you would taste of honey and shortbread. But I no longer have a taste for sweet things. I usually hate reading off my phone, so I'm sorry about this, but I wrote this one yesterday, and this is just going to be cathartic for me, so bear with me. Yeah, okay. This guy just keeps sending me his really bad poetry and is like kind of flirting with me through it and is like, please read my work, and it's very frustrating. So this is just kind of a call out, and I just had a good time writing this, so I'm going to share it with you now. So fuck him, right? Cool, yeah, thanks. All right. And I got real Fall Out Boy with the title too. The title is called Stop Pretending You Love Me Just So I'll Read Your Awful Poems. There you go. Pretty straightforward, right? Good stuff. All right. Feeling the support. Love it, guys. All right. Stop pretending you love me so I'll read your awful poems. I used your poem as a plate. I really tried to read it, but then I got hungry, and you know how I get when I'm hungry. So I poured some pretzels on your poem and used it as a plate. I'm sorry if it's still salty. I just wanted you to know it wasn't from tears, just the pretzels. I did try to read it again on the plane somewhere over Phoenix, and I wondered if I'd miss anything I'd left behind by the time I landed. Missing things makes me nauseous, and you know how I get when I'm nauseous. So I had to turn out the reading light. I started to think about all those people sleeping down in Phoenix, and their rest didn't settle my stomach. So I had to use your poem as an air sick bag. Yes, I threw up on your poem from thinking too much about missing things, but not from reading it. I just wanted to be clear. Your words weren't so moving that I vomited. Just the altitude and overwhelming idea of so many people sleeping in Phoenix, and of course, the missing things. I still haven't gotten to read the poem. I haven't responded yet, and that makes you nervous. And I know how you get when you're nervous. You text me sweetly and call me Candy Bar, and tell me you're proud of me. And by the way, did you get a chance to read that poem? There's no rush. I just value your opinion, and some of the lines are even about you. Feels good, feels good. Ooh. All right, I got one more, and this one is called Seaglass. On the pier, it is July, and the teens are drunk. It doesn't matter which teens. We were all those teens, too loud for anyone but the ocean to stand. A beer bottle is broken, shattered by these drunk teens, and the glass falls into the water, which is the only thing more wild than these teens and makes them feel safe to be drunk next to. The shattered glass over time is wave-beaten, its violent edges smoothed, all wildness wiped out, threat and danger removed, sharpness dulled, color clouded and calmed until opaque and hard to understand. We call it beautiful, collect it, and sell it in a gift shop. When I turned 13, I asked for a cell phone. Instead, I was handed a gift bag. Inside were magazines and small treasures, my favorite candies, Twizzlers, and Reese's, artfully reigned over a razor. I grew more wild every day, and they gave me a weapon in a gift bag. What I learned was this weapon was only for use against oneself, even though the hair on your legs is there to keep you warm, and at 13, warmth is so hard to come by. They decide to arm her, but only let her use the sharpness of a blade to dull herself, smooth out her violent edges. Cloud and calm until opaque, she is made beautiful and ready for window display in the gift shop. Remove more layers of her protection, and when she cries, make a case for having thicker skin. Somehow we see victory in the taming of things, a horse saddled, a smooth leg, the Seaglass rinsed off and placed among the potpourri. A polite reminder in a gift bag that anything too sharp, too wild must be worn down, reduced to magazine smoothness. But I don't want to be the prettiest person who has ever eaten a snow cone. I want the bluest lips.